Show of hands if you have heard this one before. Side hustles are a great source of passive income. It all sounds so simple, right? And I especially love this one where you see all these videos on YouTube and they're saying if you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s and you don't have a YouTube channel, you're missing out on all the money. But here's the one thing that I think some of these videos aren't really being super candid about, and it's the fact that there's nothing passive about building income, especially if you're a woman in your 40s who is juggling all the things. You are launching your kids into adulthood and becoming an empty nester. You might be at a point in your career where you're trying to pivot or trying to transition into doing something new. You may even be taking care of your aging parents at this point. This is a busy time of life, and launching a side hustle is more than a notion. So I want you to know that this is not a video that bashes side hustles or anything like that. This is not that video, but what it is a truth-telling session. By the end of this video, it's my hope that you'll have a better understanding of not only why side hustle culture is super misleading or can be, but I also want you to know what you can do about it so that you can create your own personal economy so that you can do more of what you want to do versus more of what you have to do. Hey there, my name is Quinn Brewington and I am a midlife mentor, and I talk to women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s about ways to take their years of earned expertise and turn it into new income. And in today's video, I'm talking about some of the lies that we've been sold about side hustling. Let's start with the number one lie. And I've already said it, the number one lie that we've been sold on social media is that side hustles are passive. So I'm gonna be super real with you right now. Starting anything new, whether it's a new business, even if it's a side hustle, it's very active, right? I saw a video the other day of somebody talking about the different side hustles that were great for 40, 50, and 60-year-olds. And some of the ideas, I won't lie, they were cool. They were cool ideas, but none of them were passive. When you're starting something new, it's all about the planning and the researching and the showing up even when you're tired. Starting anything new, especially if it's like a new business or even a side hustle that you think is going to be pretty easy, it's actually pretty active. I was looking at a video the other day of someone talking about the best side hustles for 40, 50, and 60-year-olds. Some of them sounded super interesting. I was especially intrigued by one that talked about the fact that, you could be a Netflix reviewer. I mean, who doesn't like to Netflix and chill, right? But as she was talking about all of the things that were required in this side hustle, I realized that income is not as passive as one might think. It's not just you sitting in front of the TV and looking at these different shows and then giving your opinion. There's a lot there. You had to learn new technology. You had to put it in a certain way. You had to write the review. There was a long list of things that were required in this role. And so it made me think that a lot of times, people tell you about all of the best side hustles that 40, 50, and 60-year-olds can do. But I just want to be honest with you all and just let you know that it's not as passive as some people would have you believe. Of course, there will come a season when you do it long enough that your income will potentially become passive. But in the beginning, it's all you, boo, and you have to do the work. This is not something that you can just speed your way through. In some of these cases, even though it sounds like super simple, oh, I just sit here and watch TV all day, it's not. There's things that you have to think through on the back end. Do you have time to actually do all the things that are required in order for you to be successful? So lie number 2 is you can just follow someone else's blueprint and the money will start pouring in. This second lie, when someone says, I have this wonderful blueprint and all you have to do is just pick it up and sell it, and it's a great way for you to earn passive income. Honestly, I think that we are living in a time where it's never been easier to make money. That is very true. There's a lot of people out here and they're selling digital products and they're doing great. But again, they're selling a system that they know. So if they're selling it to you and expecting you to sell their system, then there's some ramp up time because you have to understand how they do things and how it works for them. It's not like you can just take it out of the box and it's ready to go. So again, I just want you to think about the fact, I'm not telling you that blueprints are bad. That is not what I'm telling you, but I am telling you that oftentimes they're not as plug and play as you think they are, and they do require you to do a little bit of your due diligence on the front end so that you know what you're getting into. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't build something powerful on your own. What I am saying is that it just means that you have to tailor it to your life and the way that you do things, not the other way around. This is not about fitting a square peg into a round hole. You have to take it and make it fit you. Lie number 3 that I've heard about side hustles is that you are failing if you're not making at least $10,000 a month. And I was out just looking around and seeing what different people were saying about it, and I found this one site, and I just look at this. Take a look at this.
So I've got 5 side hustles that you guys can do from home using AI that can make you tens of thousands of dollars per month. Because some of these guys are making $5,000 a month, $25K a month, or even $300,000 a month. So there's this thing called vibe coding that everybody's talking about. And it's basically a way to build apps using AI without writing a single line of code. And the reason why it's blowing up is because number 1, you can make tons of money with apps. And number 2, this opportunity was only possible for those who know how to code, or at least have a technical co-founder, right? But today with vibe coding, you can build an entire app with AI without knowing how to code.
Really? I mean, really? I mean, who wouldn't love to make that much money in a month? But a side hustle, let's be honest, for some of us in our 40s, 50s, and 60s, especially in today's economy, if you're able to make $1,000 extra in a month, it can change a lot of things for you. It can pay for additional groceries. It can help you get out of some of your debt. And it can give you some breathing room to think about what comes next for you. Success isn't just about revenue. Success is about relief. Success is about reclaiming your time. Success is about recalibration. So why am I talking about side hustles and why does it even matter? Well, for most women in midlife, we are navigating financial realities that we did not anticipate. A career change or a disruption, a divorce where half of your income is suddenly gone, and maybe you're taking care of your parents. You have retirement accounts that have been affected by the economy. There have been layoffs, and there's ageism in the workplace. And the best advice that we're getting as women in our 40s, 50s, and 60s is to cut back on the lattes. But the truth is, you don't need to cut back. You just need to create forward. Because this system that's been set up, it is not coming to save us. But the good news is we can save ourselves one smart income stream at a time. So what's the alternative? If side hustles are not considered to be passive income, which in my opinion, they are not, I think that it's all about creating your own economy. Now, before we move on, let's talk a little bit about what it means to create your own economy. Creating your own economy means building income streams that you own and control so that your livelihood isn't completely dependent on a boss, the job market, or the broader economy. It's about taking the skills, knowledge, and the experience that you already have and turning them into offers, products, and services that pay you. Creating your own economy means you're not waiting for somebody to give you a raise, you're giving yourself one. You're not just applying for jobs, but you're building something that can't be taken away from you. You're shifting away from earning income through time and labor to creating something that continues to work even when you don't. When you start to create your own economy, you are more resilient when life starts lifing. You give yourself options, you have leverage, you have more breathing room. You stop being totally dependent on one income source and you start designing the life that works for you, not the life that works around your work. Creating your own economy is the ultimate act of freedom. And in midlife, freedom isn't just a dream, it's a decision. The first thing you can do is build a monetization method, not a hustle. Think of it like you're designing your own economic engine, like you're developing something that fits your life, your energy, your experience, and most importantly, the season of life that you're already in. One example that I saw in some of the comments, because I love the comments when I'm watching some of these videos, but one of the comments that I saw was really great. It was about this, it was from this woman. She identified herself as a nurse who was getting ready to retire and she was looking for a side hustle. And what she talked about was being a lactation consultant. And I thought that was a masterful idea because this was a great example of how she was creating her own economy. You know, she was using her expertise that she had built up as a nurse, and then she was helping new moms with breastfeeding support and education. In my new ebook, Monetize the Midlife, I talk about how the best ideas are usually the most simple ideas because the simple ideas focus on one person, one problem, and one promise. So in this example, the one person would be the new mom, and the one problem would be the fact that she has problems breastfeeding her infant. And then the one promise is that this nurse, this former nurse, has the expertise to help her develop a plan, a lactation plan to help her feed her infant. It's all about leveraging what you know. You just need a story, you need a solution, and you need a strategy. So the first place that I would start is, what is something that you know or something that you have that people always ask you about? At this stage of life, what you have is valuable. Start thinking about how you can package it into something that will help people. Maybe it's a guide, maybe it's a workshop, maybe it's a consultation call. Whatever way that you can deliver the information that can help people, do that. Once you get it out there, then that's when you start to get feedback. We all have in our mind that we need to hit it out of the park the first go round. Well, sometimes it's not about that. Sometimes it's about just getting that feedback and really understanding what people want. Your goal is to get a win. You're also proving to yourself that you have more than one way of making income. Every dollar that you earn teaches you something that your job never could, and that is that you have the power to make money beyond your paycheck. Making passive income is not impossible. You can do it, but I want you to know that that's not the starting point. That's a phase that you will eventually get to, but you've got to be in it. You've got to do the work before you get there. The way that you do that is to be consistent. Consistency is the secret sauce, sis. One tiny step forward in the right direction every single day, it starts to stack up, it starts to build, and your confidence starts to grow, and you start to feel like, yeah, I can do this. So as long as you keep focused on what's in front of you, not on the side of you, not behind you, just keep moving forward, you will make progress. This is what I teach inside More Life in Midlife. It's my free membership community for women over 40 who are ready to build smart, soul-aligned income streams. It's not about hustle culture there. I like to think of it like Income Diversity University for women over 40. And inside, we focus on the 4 income seasons so that you know where you're at and what your capacity is at that given moment. We also have the 5 majors so that you can pick your path that suits your lifestyle. And most importantly, you'll find realistic and repeatable strategies for monetizing your skills so that you don't burn out. Whether you're working full time, being a caregiver, or you're craving more control, this space was designed specifically for you. So I'm sorry to say that side hustles are not as passive as we've been led to believe. But the good news is that you can build a system that's going to pay you continually over time. You have everything that you need in order to earn more right now, and it's all in here. It's about funding your own freedom. Creating your own economy starts with getting good information. That's why I have put inside the description a link to my free midlife monetization map. It's going to help you kind of see what income paths are out there and which ones will fit your life the best. And if you found this video helpful or if you learned anything new, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.